episode of High School Story, we're gonna read You All That. I hope you're ready to dance. The next day, Chase leads you into an airy room with gleaming wooden floors, polished mirrors, and windows overlooking the cityscape. You mentioned dancing, but you didn't say we'll be practicing in a professional dance studio. This is awesome. To focus, having the right ambience is absolutely necessary, shall we? Chase uses the sound system to put on classic Watts music. There will be a moment at the gala where everyone will be invited to participate in the stage waltz. You should know the choreography as well as anyone else there. As a girl, you most likely be a follower, so I will lead. Let's get into position. He puts one hand at your waist and takes your hand with the other. Listen to the music and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna step like this in the box, then turn you to the right. Like this? Perfect. And then we pivot here. You both move your feet and run right into one another. You and Chase laugh. He instructs you on the finer points of the dance, and soon you two are moving to the music. After a couple hours of running through the routine, last turn, and then we bow. Excellent. Okay, run it through again. Let's do something else. Won't there be other types of dancing at the gala? Are you asking if the foxtrot or perhaps the salsa are going to be performed? I mean, will we get to really let loose, dance however you want, like this? I'm gonna do Gangnam Style, the cha-cha-cha slide. You cue the cha-cha-cha slide on your phone and start playing at full volume. I refuse to participate in this childish parade. Come on, Chase, you can't tell me you don't know the step to this. They're part of the song. You slide to the left, then to the right before cha-cha-ing real smooth. Chase watches you dance for a second and bursts out laughing. You look ridiculous. That's because I'm the one here having fun. That's the point of the gala, isn't it? It's the high society function. The point is to be seen and fit in, but it's also a party. It's probably one of the few times where you don't have to be so strict with yourself. What's that supposed to mean? It just seems like your life is pretty planned out. Maybe sometimes it's okay to let loose, defy expectations a little. You really don't care about what other people think, do you? Maybe sometimes, but not around friends. That's the best thing about friends. Friends, huh? Shay stands up and starts falling along to the music. I hope you don't expect me to get low to the floor. Come on. Shay does an obligatory squat and you grin. You dance together to the music. The song ends and Chase laughs as you start to catch your breath. I haven't done something like that in ever. Good. All right, Chase, I'm about ready to get back to the wars. The gala's coming up pretty quick, right? Chase laughter fades. Oh, yes, the gala. It's in 2 days. Listen, Yannick, I apologize. I forgot to have another appointment tonight. Can we set up a different time to rehearse? Oh, sure. Do you want me to meet tomorrow? Same time, same place, same outfit? Chase glances away from you. That sounds fine. I'll see you around, Yannicka. All right, see you later. Okay. The next afternoon, you show up at this train station, but Chase doesn't appear. That's weird. Where is he? You try his cell phone a couple times, but he doesn't answer. You check the secret socialite to find the latest on Chase. Rumor has it that heir apparent CC blew off the family brunch this morning, and that didn't sit well with the family patriarch's ex Florentine. It doesn't seem like Chase would drop out of a family event. I've gotta find him. But where would he go to be alone? I know. You drive the country club and find the gold room. Inside, Chase is lounging in a leather chair and looking into the fireplace. There you are. Ginika, how do you find me? We talked, remember? You said if you ever had time to yourself, you'd come here. You remembered. Of course I did. So what happened? You didn't show up for practice, and I heard you skipped out on your dad for brunch, too. How did you? Never mind. I assume it was from that ghastly gossip blog. Well, you found me out. Chase was wrong. Why you stand me up? The gala's tomorrow night. I thought we were going to practice. Chase looks away. Forget about the gala. I'll find a different guest to bring. Wait, what? At the country club, Chase averts his eyes. What do you mean I'm not invited anymore? What did I do? You won't like it. You shouldn't bother. Chase, I don't understand. I want to go to the gala. No, you don't. Chase's eyes flash and his gaze finally meets yours. You do not want to go to this gala. He rises up from the leather chair with a grimace. He paces back and forth in front of the fireplace to watch him unnerved. How come? It's not what you think. There's a reason the ghost and white gala is the secret of the Oxford Club. In fact, it's not really a gala at all. Chase stares into the fire and takes a deep breath. It's competition. A competition about the guest of honor. Every year, each member of the Oxford Club selects a plus one, someone who could never fit into high society, and train them in the manners of the upper class. At the gala, we watch them try to pretend to be one of us for a night, all the while laughing behind their backs. Whoever's guest makes the biggest fool of themselves is the winner. And finally, at the banquet, we expose the truth and humiliate them all. That's what was all about. That's what I am to you, a fool. You think I was some loser who make a perfect mark to humiliate with your rotten friends. I thought you were naive. When you didn't know who I was, when you suggested I do something else with my life, I thought you were innocent, someone I could use. But I was naive. I was the fool. Your honesty, your kindness, I thought they were your weakness, but they're your strength. You cared about what I really liked, and you could read to me when I gave the answers you want to hear. You covered for me at the restaurant without wanting anything in return. You've done nothing but treat me like a friend. You were nothing but decent and human, and that's why I cannot bring you to the gala. You've done this before. How could you even want to do this to people? I suppose at first it was to save face with the Oxfords. But then I went along with it because the people I brought to the gala would look at me as their way up the social ladder. Each of them was willing to pretend they were something they weren't just to use my name and money to get ahead. So I was okay with finding and embarrassing people for the competition every year until you. I won't ask you to forgive me because I don't think I deserve it. We both stand there in silence for a long, tense moment, so why the change of heart? Why tell the truth now? Because you were right. My name has dictated everything in my life, my career, my friends, my traditions. I laughed when you first suggested I had the choice, but now I'm starting to think I do. Chase leans his head with shame against the fireplace mantel, the lights of the flames flickering across his face. But I'm done with them. I'm never going to the gala again. Oh, yes, you are. We're both going. What? Or would you possibly still want to go after what I've told you? Because the rest of these actors are still planning to humiliate a bunch of innocent people tomorrow night. You say you're sorry for all this, then prove it. You have a chance to stop them, Chase, to make sure they never pull this again. You mean burn the Oxfords with their own prank? Well, we've certainly have it coming. It would mean renting myself a feria, ruining dozens of lifelong relationships, and making my family a laughing stock of the industry. On second thought, that all sounds pretty good to me. So I need to wear a red carpet Elysian outfit. I'm ready to destroy the Scala and this rich folks out of their high class. So red carpet. Let me buy this one. Let me get my hair done. I'm gonna wear this. So I can't wear the other ones. Oh, and here we go. Let's get a nerd and we get a wallflower. The night of the gala, a glass elevator whisks you and Chase up the mirror facade of the Palace Hotel. Some smoothing your tie, you watch the LCD numbers tick past you as you climb toward the ballroom on the 30th floor. Beside you, Chase watches the silence through the panoramic glass as the city drops away below you, a galaxy of shimmering lights. View is incredible. I never noticed it. I've ridden this elevator 1,000 times, but something about knowing this is the last time I'll be welcome here, it really makes you appreciate things. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Go through with what? Infuriating my family and burning every bridge I have? Yes. Chase. As you start to speak, the ding of the elevator arriving at its destination cuts you off. Chase stands before the doors just about apart. He half turns back to you, speaking over his shoulder. This is something I should have done a long time ago. The doors sweep over, revealing a gorgeous white ballroom under ceilings of ornate gold engravings and a dozen massive crystal chandeliers. Okay, I can see why you call it the gold and white gala. You gaze out to the crowd of Oxford Club members identified with the elk patches on their dark gray jackets, with their selected guests, and a eclectic mix of guys and girls in ill-fitting tuxes and corset. Two of the guests are talking with an Oxford Club member when they spot you and wave. Yannick, I didn't see you there. Huh, now I know how everyone else feels. You're at this party too? Sweet. I'm so excited. This just jumped up a Valence level. The Offers Club member Tom and Beckett were talking with turns around slowly. You're here. Now it's officially a ball. You're gonna love it, Tinica. We have a big surprise in store for you all. You mutter under your breath. You and me both, Asher. You and me both. In the ballroom of the Palace Hotel, Ashley welcomes you and Chase to the Oxford Club's annual Gold and White Gala. Chase, you really picked a fantastic guest for tonight, your best yet. Can't argue with you there. Allow me to introduce mine, Tom, and this is Jake Anderson's plus one Beckett. I take it you three all go to school together. Must be quite the school to produce these three luminaries. Tom, Beckett, please, you must tell Chaser what you were just telling me. Well, it's obvious, isn't it? The 48 FPS film star in the Hobbit trilogy made Owen glowing dwarf guard look like something out of a second-rate Hurricane. But Tom, I still think you're rushing to judgment. Every bristles at first when they encounter something as revolutionary as doubling frame rate. Ashley looks at Chase's face contorted and trying to hold back his laughter. Isn't this just charming? I have no idea what they're talking about. Sounds like that's a you problem. Soon the waltz has begun. You ace the complicated steps. Looks like you had a good teacher. I'm pretty sure I'm just a natural talent. Nearby, Tom and Beckett struggle with these steps. You head over to help when Chase steps in to guide them, just like that. 1, 2, 3, pivot. Perfect. Hey, thanks, dude. You're a lifesaver. I really don't want to look stupid tonight. I personally guarantee that you won't. As everyone on the dance floor gracefully rotates, Chase draws near and whispers to you, look up. Right there in the rafters, you spot a dozen white industrial buckets hooked to cables on the ceiling. What's in those? Mud. That's how they plan to humiliate this year's guests, dumping it on them in the middle of the banquet. I get it, because we belong in the filth. Cute. This is one tradition that ends tonight. I'm going to make sure they never play stunt like this again. But how? I'm Chase Cunningham. I'll manage. The string quartet silences their instruments as Usher takes a microphone. Fantastic waltz, everyone. Watching our guests of honor dance always brings me such unbridled joy. Now it's time for the banquet. Please take your seats at the place setting with your name placard. Chase scowls. It's a moment of truth. Well, what's your plan, Chase Cunningham? Step one, I need a distraction. Something to draw the whole Oxford's Club's attention. Leave that to me. The Chase looks off, you turn to the crowd, and I'm going to jump in the fountain. Who's up for fountain hopping? In your perfectly tailored formal wear, you leap into the pool of a nearby decorative fountain and begin splashing around. Ooh, cold. What the heck? Why is this water so cold? The member of the Oxford Club chuckles snubbily at your antics and shake their heads. You can just barely overhear Asher whispering to some other members. Chase brought a weird winner this year, didn't he? It's going to be tough to beat out Yenica. As the waitstaff begins leading everyone towards the banquet table for dinner, Chase settles up beside you. There you are. Well, I probably humiliated myself as a distraction. What were you doing? $3 billion of net worth is about to find out. The waitstaff leads you to the long, pristine dining table in the ballroom, positioned directly under the buckets of mud hidden in the rafters. You find your name placard and sit down across the table from Chase. He gives you an annoyed look as Asher stands at the head of the table and addresses everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oxford's Club historic Gold and White Gala, where the Oxfords celebrate those outsider halls who most inspire us. I'm talking, of course, about our guests of honor. Those seats applaud politely. You notice how the Oxford Club members on the other side of the table nudging each other in gleeful anticipation. Asher takes his chair, gesturing to Chase. Chase, you've always had a way with words. Why don't you give the traditional toast? Not tonight, Asher. The Oxford Club members look at each other in shock. Asher's brow furrows. Come again? You catch Chase's eyes across the table, nodding him to go on. He whispers back. What would I even say? The truth. Chase lowered his eyes for a moment. His hair screeches against the floor as he pushes it back and stands up, clinking his knife against his glass. Friends old and new, allow me to echo Asher's words. You do inspire us. Your honesty, your forwardness, your vulnerability, your vitality are something to behold. The others snicker and applaud, and you realize they think Chase is being sarcastic. What does it say about our society if the bravest thing you can do is be honest and genuine, if being yourself opens you up to the hatred and mockery of the entitled and the bitter? The laughter dies out as it dawns on the Oxford that Chase isn't insulting you and the other guests. Chase, what do you think you're doing? What am I doing? I'm calling a toast to the bravest people I've had the pleasure of dining with. Our club has a lot to learn from you. Everyone awkwardly raises their glasses, but Asher leads to his feet. Enough sentiment to crap chase. This is a party, remember? It's time for the main course, and it's going to be delicious. At the banquet table for the Golden White Gala, Asher stands triumphantly before the Oxford Club and their guests. Without further ado, the main course. Oh no. Asher pulls out his phone and jams a button. You hear a creak overhead and look up to the rafters where buckets of mud tilt over and splatter all over the Oxford Club members. What the? How is this possible? It was supposed to land on them. The others groaning mystery and embarrassment. The guests clean on the other side of the table try to stifle chuckles until they burst into laughter. You look across the table to Chase, who is drenched in mud. He wipes the sludge from his face. He holds out his name card and smirks. You switched the name placards, didn't you? So we'll be sitting on each other's side of the table. But you didn't have to get yourself pranked too. No, I kinda did. As Chase stands up, Asher spies him, smiling and quivers with rage. You piece of. Asher storms at Chase, cocking his fist back. He swings. Chase deftly sidesteps, and Asher momentum sends him flying forward, wiping out in the pool of mud like a slip and slide. Oof, now that's embarrassing. Asher scrambles to his feet, dripping in mud. He sneers at you as the ushers around him whimper in humiliation. You're gonna pay for this, Cunningham. He runs out of the ballroom, tracking mud as he goes, and all the other Oxfords go with him. You walk into Chase, who's watching the mud sliding down his Italian suit, amused. Is this a new style you rich kids are into? It's avant-garde day. Simpletons like you can never comprehend the whims of fashion. You look around the enormous mess and the trail of muddy footprints left by the flea in Oxford. Thank you, Chase, for doing the right thing. For once. Once is a start. Do you think it was worth it? Not sure yet, but I've got a feeling it will be. I hope so. Now let's get you cleaned up and get out of here. Hold on, Dirganika. You and your friends are esteemed guests of the Oxford's Club, and this party was in your honor, remember? And to me, it looks like there's a dance floor, musicians, and some incredibly decadent dishes waiting to be served. It would be a shame to let all that go to waste, wouldn't you say? As a matter of fact, I would. So we are going to go ahead and complete a party. Here we go. Yes. Let's party. Oh, we completed two. You and the other plus ones at the gala enjoy everything in the ballroom has to offer. Chase hit the string quartet so they'll play orchestral versions of Ellie Goulding and Drake, and you dance the night away on the floor. Chase watches from the punch bowl with a smirk. Chase, come on, get in on this. I know you have moves. I've seen them. Excuse me, that was in confidence. Just then the barn doors burst open and several adults stormed in, furious, led by a graying man and a wide-eyed woman who gasped in horror. Chase wipes off some more mud. Hello, Mom. Hello, Father. Oh boy. Chase father boys with anger and embarrassment. Asher squeezes up to the front, still filthy. He points a menacing finger. I told you. Look what they did, the monsters, and your son is working with them. The adults bellow at you and the guests to leave. The string quartet goes quiet, and the lot of you wander toward the elevator, still laughing to yourselves. You hear a gruff voice shout after you, "Not you, Chase." Beside you, Chase Winston starts walking. Time to face the music. Yannicka, catch you around. That doesn't sound good, Chase. Don't worry about me. He leads you to the elevator filled with the other guests. He looks at you from just beyond the threshold. Are you gonna be okay? I'm Chase Cunningham. I'll manage. Just before the elevator door shut, Chase winks at you and turns away to march confidently toward his parents. The next day, you're sitting back at the Coffee Express enjoying a latte while surfing the internet on your laptop. Chase is all over Secret Socialite, the homemade plaster with cell phone photos from the disastrous gala. The article reads, "Chased out, Cunningham Skyum booted from the Oxford Club. What's next with Chase?" How Chase is holding up okay. You close your laptop and the large picture of Chase's face, only to see him sitting across from you. Ah, Chase, what are you doing here? How do you find me? You joking, right? This is where we met. The Coffee Express on 3rd Street, remember? You didn't even know who I was. Do I even know who you are now? I'm still not sure myself. I'm trying to figure that out. Things seem to be changing faster than I can keep up. What's next? What went down with your parents? They seem bad. I'm honestly kind of impressed your life. They were certainly not pleased. I humiliated all of their friends' kids. Not great for business. They're still mad, but for now they've only grounded me. Grounded you? Then why are you here? Shouldn't you be home? I mean, they literally grounded me. They sold off my helicopter. Of course, that's what you meant. Well, you should change the Secret Socialite article. What is next for you? They say money buys you freedom, but for me, it's been more of a leash. Now I'm thinking they may be right. I'm too rich to care what people think. From now on, I'm going to do what makes me happy, at least until mom and father disown me. And that means withdrawing from Staunton effective immediately. I'll be reporting to your school Monday morning for classes. See you there. Hey now. We're a pretty elite school too. What makes you think you can get in? Chase just grins at you. I know. You're Chase Cunningham. You'll manage. So we are going to get Chase into our school. Chase is a classic man bringing a touch of old-fashioned class and a taste of the high life wherever he goes. But is his aloof, aristocratic exterior all an act? And if it is, then he really is Chase Cunningham. Okay, we need to sell off. That sounds so wrong when I say sell off a person. So he's like it's only worth 150 coins. And he is gonna go right there with Beckett. This is your school. It's so quaint, small, intimate campus, tiny vintage desk. I'm so intrigued to see how the other half lives. I'm sure I'll fit right in. Now, who'll be taking my coat? Okay, hopefully he fits in because he just kind of judged us. You walk to class Monday morning to find Chase sitting there scrunched into the tiny desk. On either side of him are two huge men in dark suits and sunglasses with wired earpieces. Good morning, Yenika. Looks like I managed. And who's this? Your entourage? Chuck and Phil, just my bodyguards. My mother was terrified of the idea of me attending a public school. To her, I might as well be off by myself in some grimy youth hostel abroad. Gonna make these guys do homework too? No way. I need to be learning everything myself, especially if I'm going to be cut off from my inheritance soon. After school, you're walking out with Chase and his bodyguards when you hear, OMG, it's him again. Chase. Oh, hey, Peyton. Peyton sprints towards you both, but the bodyguards immediately step in front with folded arms. Peyton bounces right off. Oof, rude. Chuck, Phil, stand down, boys. Any friends of mine is friends of Yenika. Peyton writes from the coffee shop the other day. Payne looks at you wide-eyed. He remembers. How is this even happening right now? Why do you have textbooks? OMG, do you go here now? He does. Speaking of, how you like your first day at the Grammy Youth Hostel? It was everything I could have hoped for and more, but now I'm feeling up for a bit of fun, aren't you? I was thinking of crashing an X-Trans fashion show after party this evening. Care to join? Ooh, Chase Kenny is officially attending your school. So I'm going to go ahead and see about painting those animals. Yay, this is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to see all the baby animals with their tiny little paws and big sweet eyes and fluffy furry butts. Wow, you're really into animals. Hee hee, could you tell? Well, do you have fun? Are you kidding? That was totes the best ever. Do you get a photo of me with baby ferrets? Of course, it's already got 45 likes. You have a lot of friends. So, Yenika, I've got good news and slightly alarming news. Good news first, the shelter was so much fun. Alarming news is I may have adopted a bunch of animals. Peyton! Sorry, okay? I couldn't help myself. They were so sad and sweet and needy. I got 4 kittens, 2 puppies, and a baby goat. A goat? What do you think I should call him? Totes my goats. I love it. You're a good little goat, aren't you? Yes, you are. Petting the goat's cute and all, but who's gonna take care of all these animals? I am, of course. I've got this, Yannick. I'm great with pets. Although in the meantime, do you think maybe you could set up somewhere for them to play? So I need some more trees in school. Let's be strategic about this. Where am I gonna place some trees? I don't know. I'm gonna place some right here. Yeah, right here. And then I'm gonna place another one right here. I'm gonna place another one right here. Um, hmm. I'm trying to try to make this look good. And some right here. I think this is probably enough. I think I have enough. Do I? Yep. There is a nice little part for them to play in temporarily. Yeah, I know, but look at them play. They're so cute and happy. Hey, Payne, what's going on over here? Why are there all these animals, and why does it smell like my uncle's trailer? At the sound of Julian's voice, all the kids, spook and scatter, rushing out toward campus. Ah, Julian, what have you done? Your stupid voice scared all the kittens. I don't see how that's my fault that they're a bunch of scaredy cats. Whoa, scaredy cats. I just got that. Help, Unica. We need to find them before they get off campus. I will try, Peyton. But finding kittens is like finding needles in a haystack. Evasive, easily startled needles. We just need some people to help me look. Some people with exceptionally good vision and hand-eye coordination. So we need a gamer and a level 3 nerd. What's up, Peyton? You wanted to see us? This better be important. We were in the middle of a pretty important game of monkey marbles. Oh, it's really important. I need you to test a brand new video game. Really? Of course, it's all about finding lost treasures scattered across an ancient buried city. That sounds pretty cool. Yup, except they aren't treasures, they're kittens. Instead of a city, it's this school. And it's not a game, it's real life. Wait, what? Go. Well, do you find them? Yeah, 4 kids, just like you asked. Oh, MJ, you did it, and they're so cute. I know. We need the tiny one, Princess Zelda, and the big one, Master Chief. Let's just talk about names later. Well, that was a close call. Good thing Claire and myself really know what they're doing. Now, seriously, we need to talk about these animals' pain. They can't stay here. I know. I hope I could just take care of them myself here, but I'm just starting to think maybe it's just too much responsibility. What if you took them home? I can't. My parents didn't know my pets and they were serious. I don't understand how the world can be so mean. They're sweet little creatures who need love and attention and good homes. What am I supposed to do? Just ignore them? Everything deserves to have a home. Hey, wait. That gives me an idea, Payne. Why don't we try to see if some students at the school take the animals? You can hold an adoption fair. You're a genius. Let's do it right away. Maybe we should find some people to groom them first. Why? Well, the kids are splashing in the bowl of milk. The dogs are playing in mud, and the goat is chewing on the side of the school. Touche, Unica. Touche. So let's get a level 5 character, which is going to be me, of course. Here we go. Hmm. Who do we level up? Let's level up Julian. Here we go. Okay, here's the plan, Yenika. Can you groom the kittens? Of course, they're so cute. Their paws are like lick pompons. And Claire, are you up to prepping the puppies? Of course, I'm great with dogs. Sit, fetch, draw my shoes. Hee hee. And Julian has the goat. Certainly is a goat. It sure is. Let's do this. Well, how's it going here? Oh, and you've got the kids wearing tiny cowboy hats. It wasn't easy getting them on, I'll tell you that. And the puppies look so nice and fluffy. Giving one dog a bath, kind of fun. Giving 2 dogs a bath, a lot of fun. How about you, Julian? How's the goat handling? Here's a fun fact. Goats eat shirts. Did not know that until today. Ready to hold the adoption fair? Maybe, but I just had a crazy idea. What if it's not just an adoption fair, but an animal adoption fair party? Oh, we gotta throw a party with Peyton. Here we go, Chase. You're gonna party with Peyton right here. They don't make a cute couple though. I don't know. Here we go. Woohoo, that was an epic party, Peyton. How the animals do. Amazing, every one of them found a good home. I even convinced Julian to adopt. Yeah, Colonel Grove is really gonna like my uncle's farm. Julian likes to act tough, but he's a big softy. Hey, I heard that. Hee hee. I have to say, Payne, I was a little worried back there, but you really managed to come through and make it all work. Yeah, I know I went kind of crazy at this shelter. Seeing all those baby animals without families really got to me. I want to make sure all these shelter animals will be getting enough love and attention, so I decided I'm going to volunteer at the shelter on the weekends, just trying not to adopt the whole shelter again, prep. Yeah, don't worry. This way I can play with all the animals without taking them home. Plus, it'll apparently look great on college applications. Paint walks off and you turn to Julian. I used to think Paint only cared about partying and drama. Who knew she cares so much about finding those animals a good home? It kind of makes sense. because of how things are for her, huh? Don't you know Payne's adopted? She grew up in some pretty rough places before her parents took her in. That's why she cares so much. She knows how lucky she is to have a good home and remembers how tough it was before she did. I had no idea. Let's just finish this one off as Peyton. Looks like your party was hot, Yanika. Oh yeah, you think so? Well, the person who tweeted me does. Rockin' party last night, met a new friend, so glad I decided to ask Peyton. Oh, we really helped someone. It feels great, like buying new shoes while making out at a party. I love answering these tweets. Let's do another one. Got one that says, as Peyton, our mock trial teams are made entirely of girls, and I'm the only guy. How can I balance the scales? Easy answer. Mock trial needs guys who are interested in law. Any guy who's in student government would do the trick. Okay. But how do we recruit these guys? We throw another party or two. It might take a couple parties to find the right people, but if we keep partying, we'll eventually get them. Okay, so we gotta throw a party and get a student government